What's up, everyone? It's Rob Fuzz here. Hope you're doing good. How's everyone doing? I'm so excited. I am doing the Live Place movie marathon this week. I'm so excited. This is my third stream. I'm on a stream again tomorrow. I'm going to do 4 streams for the Live Place marathon. I got to thank this man right here. There he is, Dean from the Live Place. My man. Welcome, Dean.
Rob, thank you, Rob.
Thank you for coming on.
Doing this.
This is thank you.
Great topic. I'm excited.
Of course, we got the great Marko, and we got DizneyDan in the house. Just wanted to bring you guys in. We're off the bat here. I love having you guys on. Don't forget, guys, follow me, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Rob Fuzz. My website, which is actually updated. I was kidding around Marko. I actually updated it, robfuzz.com. Check me out wherever I'm going to be. Not only my channel, all my links are there. All my partner channels, they're all there. And please check out these amazing guys. Dean from the Live Place. He is right here. Well, hold on a second. I'm just, I'm all out of place here. TheLivePlace.com. We are celebrating Movie Week. Thank you so much for doing this, Dean. Thank you for coming on the stream today. Check out his YouTube channel, YouTube.com, The Live Place. We're going to get back to you. Hold on a sec. And of course, we got DizneyDan, my man. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Hey, buds. It's good to be back. You know what? I am so excited. Firstly, I want to give a big thanks to Dean because, like, movies is like my favorite thing to do in my spare time. I love anything to do with movies, and to talk about possibly one of the greatest movie directors of all time. I'm so here. I can't wait to talk about this. It's going to be fun. Thank you so much for considering me, and it's going to be fun, and we're going to have a great time. I'm looking forward to it.
Talk about DizneyDan, your channel, your YouTube channel. Yeah. You're my amazing partner. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so DizneyDan, my main show, Disney Fiasco, that will be episode 110 tomorrow. I can't believe it's been 10 episodes since episode 100. It's kind of crazy. That'll be tomorrow. We're continuing with the movie marathon that the Live Place is hosting this week. We are doing our top favorite movies that are so bad, they are hilarious. So we're going to be really looking at those. They're going to be fun. And then on Sunday, it's our Disney movie review. That'll be on Walt's channel, Mousetalk's channel, and we are going to be reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Did you pick that? That was what you picked? I didn't even see the show yet. Wow, no coincidence.
You know what's funny is 2 weeks ago on Walt's channel, we picked Guardians of the Galaxy. Then we picked The Rescuers. And then out of all the movies in this box, I picked the second one to Guardians 2. Still haven't. I've seen it before, but I haven't seen it this week, so I'm probably going to watch that a little later. But that's going to be on Sunday, 6 p.m. And there's just a couple of vlogs planned for that. And I got something new. Speaking of visionaries and Spielberg and visionaries and storytellers, I have it's not new. It came out this year or last year. Bob Iger's The Ride of a Lifetime.
Oh, very cool. That's a different cover than in the United States. That's weird.
I know. I know. It's pretty cool.
The audiobook.
So I'm actually reading this right now, and I'm going to do a review on it. So
can I join you? Because I'm listening to it too, if that's all right.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. So I'm just invited myself. But
guys, go buy this book. It is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
it's really good. Really, really good.
I did start reading it. Of course, we have the great Marko. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. The great Marko.
Hello.
Oh my gosh.
Hello.
What?
Hello.
What you need is like the
All the
TV
Markos.
like Captain Camera 3, Camera 5.
Hello.
That is so cool.
Well, yeah, I thought we're doing a movie stream, aren't we? So let's let Rob be the director, and he can cut to whichever is my best angle.
They're not working. We didn't tell Dan we were doing this.
That's hilarious.
This one's not working. The lower camera's not working.
The lower one keeps cutting out. Let me get the lower one working again.
Can we, for each movie that Marko chooses, can he do a different camera angle?
I think that'd be awesome. Yeah, the bottom one's not working. Unfortunately, we had Marko butt cam before.
No, it should be. Is it on now? Is it working now? Is the lower one on now? There it is. Oh no, that's that one. This one. I lose track of where I'm supposed to be looking.
It is not working.
No, the lower one's not working, is it? Never mind.
All right. That's awesome, though. What's up, Marko? How you doing? Let's talk about your channel.
I'm good.
Great, Marko.
Yeah,
you want to talk about your channel or anything?
I uploaded a video last week all about fireworks safety in the UK. It's a new public information film. I don't know which camera to look at. It's a new public information film.
Bring it back
in the UK. So,
with all the yellow t-shirts, they look like a group of minions.
I got to tell you, Marko.
So there's a little video on my channel.
Minion Marko.
What's up, Don? How you doing? I called her John.
Oh my god.
What's up, Don and Jaworski? How's it going? I'm sorry. Marko, you drive me crazy there. Okay.
This is why he's great. This is why he's great.
Last week I invited Marko on. I was so crazy. I forgot to give the link. I apologize. As soon as I went live, I'm like, darn, I forgot to invite Marko. So I was trying something new last week.
Hey, no problem.
Sorry, Marko. But I said, you know what? I want you on next week. So although you're not wearing the wig, but it's all right.
I can if you want.
Of course. You're wearing the Rob Fuzz wig.
Put the wig on.
We need a little Rob Fuzz. Go ahead before you go ahead. Talk about Rob Fuzz.
How am I looking? Hey, guys. How's everyone doing?
It is Rob Fuzz, Marko. Oh, yeah, hold on a second.
Rob, yeah.
Innovator. I'm telling you, he's unbelievable.
This is too much.
What did you call him before you streamed, Dan? You called him?
What?
You said, when you came on, you said, I have a legend, and we have, what did you call them, the two of them? It was very cool.
We got the great Marko and the legendary Dean.
Oh, there it is. That's what they are. So, yes.
Hashtag Minion Marko. There we go.
I'm literally crying. I'm laughing so.
Multi-cam Marko.
This is the first. It's exclusive. No other channel has had me on more than once at the same time. This is simultaneous Marko. It's a first.
And I have my Nikon going here too, so it's like a very cinematic today. So, whew, all right. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, why we're here today, Dean from the Live Place. Let's talk about the Live Place, Dean. I wanted to go to you last because I wanted to hear about. Tell us about the movie marathon. Give us all the details and everything.
Sure. I look old.
You look great.
No.
It's with Dan and Marko here. It's hard to measure up. All right.
Don't be silly.
What am I saying, Rob? What am I doing?
Live Place movie marathon.
Yeah. So it was kind of funny. You know how you plan and think of ideas over a long time? Honestly, one day I just had this idea. Let's do a movie marathon. And at first it was going to be a one-day thing, but so many people were interested. I said, well, why don't you just make your normal streams a movie topic if you're interested? And 35 channels said they wanted to do it. So all since last Saturday when Road Trip Day went live on Indiana Jones, and until this Sunday when really Dan and Walt and I wrap it up, we've got 30-some shows, awesome. All on movie topics. Anywhere from individual movies to, like today's Spielberg, to genres. Like last night there was a couple on horror films, which I'm not a big horror film guy.
Sorry, guys, but I agree.
But yeah, so it's been a great week, and I think what it does, is it just the sense of community is that people are collabing, watching each other, and new connections are being made. So it's been a great week. I think we'll do these again.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I called Dean up and I'm like, Dean, can I call you? And I said, I think you should do more of these. Do like Christmas week and do a bunch of different stuff. So I think it's hopefully we do more.
It's so much fun.
It's a very great idea. So I think this guy right here kind of inspired you too, because one day I think Dan said that you wanted to do a stream on all the bad movies or something, and I think Dean's clock was.
He did. In fact, Dan inspires me a lot, and the next one that I am kind of considering is food. I think we should do a food marathon.
Yeah. Speaking of food, I believe next Friday, 4:00, I'm gonna bring. Hopefully, with the scheduling works out, we're gonna do food with Dan next week too. I think.
All I can say is make sure everyone brings their stretchy pants.
Right on.
Because we'll be putting on a couple of pounds after we talk about food next week.
That is
Love
awesome. I'm just going to keep taking different angles on Marko. So. All right, let's get into it, guys. The Live Place movie marathon. Unfortunately, I came late to the party. I apologize, Dean. Thank you so much for adding me like the last minute. And I just thought of what could I do that's different among everything else. And I thought, who is my favorite director? Who's my favorite movies? I'm wearing my Goonies shirt right here. It's a good excuse to wear my Goonies shirt today. So I thought it was funny. Indiana Jones and Lucas. I was thinking that, and I saw Dave took that, which was cool. And I didn't even think of it, but I was on Kelly's stream on Tuesday. We did John Hughes, which was amazing. It was a really good stream. I said, you know what? Let me do Steven Spielberg. I think that would be really cool because I love his movies, and I'm really into Ready Player One lately because Ready Player Two, the book's coming out, so I got really back into it. That is I think that's one of the last movies he made. I think there was a movie right after that, but I love Ready Player One. He adapted from the book, and from 2018. He just does such a great job. He's so talented. There's so many movies. I was funny. I was talking on what were we talking about? I was talking about Hitchcock, and Hitchcock is the other famous director from Universal, the most famous director. It's Spielberg over there. And I saw that they never met. We were talking. I forget we were talking about that, but it was just they never got to meet each other. And I think I saw a thing on Twitter actually the other day that Hitchcock did a commercial for the Backlot tour. He was so embarrassed by the Backlot tour. He never wanted to see eye to eye Steven Spielberg because he didn't want him to call him out on that, which was kind of bizarre. But yeah, so great, so amazing. What do you guys think? Marko, I'm gonna take care. I'm gonna add this one in there. Hold on a sec. We'll come back to the other angles. So, what do you guys think? When I say Steven Spielberg, what's your first thought, guys? What do you think? We'll start with Dan, I guess.
I mean, what can you not think about with Spielberg? He's one of the greatest film storytellers, I think, ever to sit behind a camera. I think he is a legend in the film industry for a reason. If you look at his filmography, if you look at all the films that he's produced, directed, even written, there's just so many to choose from. It's incredible. And what I love about Spielberg is that the majority of his films, there's that certain Spielbergianisms of each film. You notice, you could put a film on and you notice that it's a Spielberg film. And I think all directors have a certain style. So if you look at, for example, a Christopher Nolan film, you'll notice things like Inception, Interstellar, Tenet, the Dark Knight trilogy. He has a certain flair with his directing. And Spielberg certainly has his style of directing, and it is very iconic. It's very sort of playful. It's very sort of story-driven, character-driven, fun, comedic, yet sometimes intense, even scary. So I really like the way he sees films, especially during the times back between the 70s all the way up to the early 2000s. That's where I think his peak was. Yeah, and he is a legend for a reason. He's easily in my top 3 favorite directors of all time. And I can't wait to talk about all these films with you guys because I'm a massive fan of Spielberg.
Marko, what are you thinking when I say Steven?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those directors that everybody knows. Even if you're not familiar with his work, I think everybody will have seen at least one Spielberg movie. Yep. He's got an appeal that kind of bridges generations. He can do such a wide variety of things from, kind of family, kind of comedy, kids things, right up to some really kind of serious, hard-hitting Schindler's List type things. He can span that kind of generational gap. And because he's been doing it for so many years, or so many decades, I think everybody is familiar with at least one of his movies. So he just has that incredible appeal that I think few other directors, producers have ever had, really. So, yeah, iconic, in a word.
Dean, what are you thinking, Dean?
So what I'll say is right off the get-go is, He is my favorite director of all
That's
time.
awesome.
I don't see eye to eye with absolutely everything he does, but it would be crazy to say you agree with everybody on everything, because, and I'll say what it is later, but when Spielberg was a kid, he had, I think, that kind of unique personality that showed he was going to be somebody. And one of the stories I liked is when he would, did you know the story? He would go outside his sister's bedroom window when the moon was full, and he would talk to his little sister as though he were the moon.
Wow. I didn't hear
So
that story.
he just thinks that way, you know.
That's awesome.
And being a director is hard. We don't understand how hard it is to create what they do, and he does it so well. So that's what comes to my mind for Steven.
That's an awesome start.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so excited to talk about Steven Spielberg. I forgot. Let me tell real quick, guys. I'm sorry. Let's talk about my amazing sponsors. Don't forget the Philly crew. They are awesome. They go live every Thursday, 9:00. They are incredible. And of course, D&G Explorers. Thank you so much, D&G Explorers. They go live every Wednesday at 8:00 as well. And I just wanted special thanks to all my incredible members. Thank you guys so much. I think that's most of you guys. I apologize if you're not there. And of course, we didn't do this. I apologize. Dan, who's in the chat there? Let's go from the top to the bottom.
All right, here we go.
Let's go say hi to
So,
everyone.
starting off right at the top, we have Samantha Lowe. Welcome into the stream. We have the not just the Marko, the great Marko. Monty Fitzbrown.
Multi-Marko.
Multicam, great Marko. Yeah, Monty Fitzbrown is here. Really creative travel. Welcome in, Blaine. The live place, the legendary live place. Welcome in. Grace F. Welcome into the stream. My captain, Akron. Good to see you. Alex, the filmmaker. We got the wonderful, beautiful Dana Jaworski is in the house. Amy from AJC Magic TV. Great to see you. Avery, the Cuban American. Welcome in, buddy.
Guys, welcome.
We got Caitlin from Make It Blue. Great to see you. I hope you're doing well.
Caitlin's going live tonight too.
Caitlin's going live tonight. Go check her out. Russ from What in the World with Russ.
What's up, Russ?
Good to see you, buddy. We also have Jim from More Sunshine, Please.
What's up, Jim?
Good to see you, Jim. And we have Mr. Fulton, Mraz. We have Fanta Gamer Productions. We have Sherry, Awesome Sunset Travels. Great to see you, Sherry. We also have Charlie from the Disney Nerd Herders. Great to see you. And I think we have Christopher Richards. Welcome into the stream as well. I think I've caught up. Kay Atwood, so good to see you, Kay. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Yeah, great to see everybody.
There's the great Marko. They're right there. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for doing that, Dan. I just wanted
That's
to.
all right.
I love giving a shout out to all my sponsors. My partner channels are all below there. Of course, all my members. Thank you guys so much. Sorry about that. I got too excited, so I wanted to wait till everyone's here anyway to say give out the credit. So. Dean, I love that story. One of my favorite stories is if you guys do a search on YouTube, Entertainment Weekly took a cart with Steven Spielberg when they were promoting Ready Player One, and they went around the Universal backlot, which was so cool to see him talk about the Universal backlot. I was reading earlier, I shared a link to you guys. The vice president of Universal saw one of Spielberg's early movies and literally hired him out of college. He dropped out of college. He's like, I never turned back. I didn't even clean out my locker, he said, which was pretty funny. So, but the cool thing about Universal on this backlot tour, he was telling us as he was a kid, he used to sneak on the backlot of Universal. Like, what canone is this guy just to sneak on a backlot of Universal? So he is Mr. Universal. I love that he used to sneak on, and I think he met a lot of directors, a lot of actors and everything, and he studied right early on, sneaking onto Universal Studios. That's just such a cool story. And he watched the backlot story. Another cool thing about that, before I forget to tell it, they had the Jaws scene there, and the orca was on the backlot from Jaws.
Wow.
It was the orca. It literally was the boat. You know, I think they had 2 or 3 boats, but like it was the main full boat they used in the movie, and it was back there. And he said he would sneak away from his office, which was really cool, and he would go on the orca. He would like hide in there And he, like, if you wanted to get away from stuff or he's had the pressures or anything, and he would just hang out on the Orca, like the trams would go by and everything, because Universal Studios in Hollywood is a working studio with, you know, an amusement park and a backlot tour and everything. But it was just so cool. He showed his offices and everything, and I love that he used to sneak on the Orca and sit there. And one day he went to go sneak on the Orca, and it was gone. And he freaked out. He's like, "What happened to the Orca?" They didn't know it was really the Orca, and it was starting to rot out. And they demolished it and broke it. He was so upset.
Do you know the real reason why they had to destroy it?
What was the real reason?
They had to go and get a bigger one.
They had to get a bigger boat.
Good one, Dad.
It's too funny. So I love that story too. So.
That's a great story.
But yeah, let's dive into his movies though. Like, woof, like incredible stuff. And you know, I said, you know, he's got a lot of movies where he was the director, and like I think Dan said, early, you know, the late 70s, early 80s, you know, into the like right before like 2000. I think that's when. Was that when you were saying, Dan, when his prime was? You were thinking?
Yeah, I think definitely the 90s were. 80s and 90s was his peak. I think he has such an incredible sort of decade. I think two decades, 80s, 90s, even going into the early 2000s. But even still, his stuff today is still very good. Right. I mean, obviously, you know, there are films back in the 90s. 1993 comes to mind that, you know, aren't going to be as good as, you know, the year of 1993. But he still continues amazing stuff. So,
right.
It's one of these things, isn't it? When a movie starts and you see the name Steven Spielberg at the start of a movie, you're going to give it a watch, aren't you? You know it's a sign of quality.
Well, I never knew this, but his first real big short thing was Amblin. It was his first short film in 1968, and that's the name of his company. And then you see like you said, the logo coming up. It's E.T. like flying over the moon. And you see Amblin, and I'm like, I'll be honest with you, I never knew what that was. And then I just found out today that Amblin was his first short film. So I guess he named his company after it. It's really cool. I like that. And you're right, Marko, you see that logo. You know what? I think in modern days, you see the executive producer or mainly the executive producer. You know, they just slap their name on it. I don't know how much involvement they have and everything, but you know, even he has a ton of movies where, you know, like the Goonies, like I think he was like the executive producer, you know, and I love that's Goonies is one of my favorite movies growing up.
He was, you know, not only did he have so many directorial roles, but if you looked at all the films he was a producer on, like it's incredible, like how many films he was just a producer on. Yeah. Like films that you didn't even know he was a producer on. Like it's just it's incredible. Like his filmography, it's insane.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Well, I want to talk about Indiana Jones coming up too, because I believe Dane knows the story because they talked about it over the weekend. But I want to start from, you know, if you guys know me, one of my all-time favorite movies, which is Jaws. I know Dean loves it. I know Dan loves it. Marko, I don't even know. Do you love Jaws?
Absolutely,
do you think so? Just an incredible movie.
It was probably his first kind of major breakthrough film, wasn't it? I know he'd had a few films before, but Jaws was the one that kind of broke the box office records.
It was the box office. It was the movie. It was the one.
It was the first blockbuster movie ever. Like I think we talked about it on our earlier stream, right? Dan, is that what
we did? Yeah. We were talking about. I think we were talking about Star Wars. And Star Wars was the film that broke the Jaws box office record. You know, Jaws was that box office that people went to see. You know, it was a massive success. And Spielberg created an incredible film, and it was only for something like Star Wars to beat that. It's quite incredible. So, a film about a shark that does so well. It's quite incredible. It is amazing.
It's classic Spielberg storytelling, and it is my favorite. I'll just say that right out of the gate. And he builds up to it. You know, you don't want to see everything right away. He knows how to create the story, and he knows how to create the characters. My favorite character is the fisherman guy. What's his name?
Quinn.
Yeah, Quinn. That's my favorite. I love that guy. He's just very unique, and Spielberg knows how to get that out of people.
Yeah.
But we're
And
talking
Spielberg also had he did a voice, didn't he, for one of the characters in Jaws as well.
He
does
did
actually have a cameo.
I can't remember the name.
Was it the life station worker?
Could be.
He did a voice. He doesn't actually appear.
No,
he does a voice.
It was a voice cameo.
It was
a voice cameo.
I didn't know that.
This week's been so crazy. I totally forgot. It was only on Monday, but sorry, Dean. I was on Dean's stream. He his kickoff was movies of the 50s and 60s, so that was awesome too. And we were talking about how many different, and that's where we're talking. I'm sorry. Why don't you say something, Dean? That's where we're talking about Hitchcock. That's where, and a lot of my favorite Hitchcock movies was from that era. And thank you so much, Dean, for having me on for that. I just my brain's going a million miles an hour.
No, it was fun, and we found out that movies from the 50s and 60s included movies from the 30s and 40s with Carlos.
I told Carlos one rule. That was it, one rule. But one thing I'm just, the reason why I brought it up was there were so many movies Universal put out, and so many, they just had a ton of movies, and even Spielberg. 68, 71, 74, 75, 77, 79, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. Like every year, this guy put out another blockbuster. It was just amazing from his start, It's just, I just don't think they do things like that anymore. I think he puts out a lot of movies and he puts his name on a lot of movies, but man, like they churned out, even then, like they churned out a lot of movies in a short amount of time. So, Amblin, Duel, Sugarland Express, Jaws, that was his start into 75. So anything else you guys want to discuss about Jaws? Like we talk about Jaws all the time on my channel.
Well, I mean, you can't talk about Jaws and not talk about the iconic music of Jaws.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we want to talk about them.
It's used in so many other movies and skits and comedy shows and TV shows today, that kind of suspenseful piece of music, that iconic piece of music that, even though it was written back in the 70s, it still fills people with that kind of suspense and what's going to happen even today. I think
we can all agree that if Spielberg is directing a movie, the legendary John Williams is not too far behind him.
That's right.
I think we could do a whole show on John Williams.
I think
John
we're going to have to
is
write a note, guys.
John Williams is a legend in his own right. And when we get on to one of my picks later, I'll tell you one of my favorite pieces ever written. But the Jaws theme, you don't even have to see the film to know the Jaws theme song. That's how iconic it is, because it doesn't matter if you've seen the film or not seen the film, or even know that a film is called Jaws. I've seen kids in swimming pools with their hat and going na na na, like they know the theme, and they probably don't even know what film it's from. It is such an iconic piece of music from an iconic composer, from a director who brought magic to the big screen, magic and horror to the big screen.
And to give you one sense, John Williams, you know what movie he did the movie score for? He did for Fiddler on the Roof. Wow. So this guy is doing this since the mid 60s, I believe.
Yeah.
That's 60 years ago almost.
Yeah, and I think he's just about to retire, though. I think, right? Like he's kind of doing a couple things.
He's always said that he's about to retire, and he never has.
What's the last Star Wars movie? Was that his last movie?
Well, he's done Star Wars. He's done Bridge of Spies. Wait, no, he didn't do Bridge of Spies. I think this was one of the few films that Steven Spielberg directed that John Williams didn't compose, which was Bridge of Spies, which came out in 2014, 15. I think.
Looking.
Because John Williams didn't write for Force Awakens. I know he did write for Force Awakens. He
did.
He did. There was some that he didn't.
He did the BFG.
He didn't do Rogue One.
Okay, but he did do Solo, and he did Rise of Skywalker.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. I think that's the key. It's Spielberg. It's, you have John Williams with the score and everything. Another thing I was thinking too, what's amazing about a lot of these movies, and not just him, the movie posters and the movie artists. I don't know if you guys know Drew, Drew. He's done a lot of his posters and everything. So that guy is very talented. If you see the prop show, the Disney
prop culture.
I think they interview him and they show Roger Rabbit. That's one of Is Roger Rabbit one of the movies that has his name on?
I think he produced it. I don't think he directed it.
Produced it, yeah. So, but yeah,
that was Robert Zemeckis, I believe.
Right. And he's done a lot of stuff around Zemeckis too. So, but yeah, I love that. I used to collect posters and everything, and I love Drew's posters. He signs each one with Drew on the bottom, so you see but it's cool. So we're gonna move on. We're moving on from so many movies here. Caitlin was asking, there's not really a big gap in anything. Probably the last from 2018 to now was the biggest gap that he didn't do anything. So, but she was asking what's the biggest gap of movies that he didn't do anything. But maybe recently, I think maybe slowed down a little bit. But it's crazy. Yeah. So I'm trying to find the main thing. So we're talking about director here. The second, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Can we just stop there?
1977. Go ahead.
Close Encounters of a Third Kind is my father's favorite film of all time. And I've got to say, is one of the most criminally underrated films of all time. The music in that film, for me, is one of the greatest pieces of music I think I've ever heard. It is written in a way that the music plays a part of the character. And I feel that's what John Williams and Spielberg go for, especially John Williams. The music is a character in of itself as part of the film. And when you hear those notes, dun, 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 like I'm not going to go in my singing voice, and the alien tones are like trying to grasp it. It's such a great piece of music, and the film itself is stunning. It really is, and the way humans and aliens try and figure out a way to talk and communicate, and Spielberg has so many films, and he's done similar films. He's done films like AI, artificial intelligence. He's done lots of films that are similar, but I highly recommend Close Encounters of a Third Kind because I feel it's one of his most underrated, forgotten films, and it is a beautiful film.
Yeah. Beautiful film. I saw it as a kid, and I really kind of abandoned it for years. And I went back a couple of years ago, I watched it again. I was blown away by it.
It's so just cool. A wonderful film.
Yeah, just like his characters are incredible. Like, see, Richard Dreyfuss comes back for this. You see the man break down and everything. It's just so cool. I love when they show kind of like. I think a lot of those moments are like improvised, like in Jaws where he's hitting there fooling around, and then they're making and then in Close Encounters where they're making the mountain out of mashed potatoes. I always do that at the mountain of mashed potatoes and everything. It's so cool. It is an incredible movie. Anything else to add to that, Marko or Dean?
Well, I think when we think of Steven Spielberg, we primarily think of director and executive producer. Let's not forget he actually wrote Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Oh wow! So it's not only did he direct it, he wrote it. Yeah. So that's quite to be able to do that. I mean, like Rob was saying before, he's putting out two movies a year after year after year. So not only direct those, but to be writing some of them as well. No, he didn't write many, but Close Encounters was one of them. So the talent and the dedication that he has to his craft, just incredible. And it shows in Close Encounters. It really is.
On the independent website where I'm getting all my information from, Jaws is considered his best film of all time. The second is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. With all the other films that he's done, you're kind of baffled that, like, you would think some of the other films would be ahead of Close Encounters, but like I say, you watch that film and it's so underrated, and it's just a stunning film.
When I saw it, I actually, at that time, said I liked it more than Star Wars. I've kind of switched on that because the first Star Wars is so iconic, but it was that good. And I will say this, the one mistake, I don't know if you guys agree or not, let me know, is when he tried to go back and add to the ending of it and go into the spaceship. I thought that was a mistake.
Well, I don't remember that. They did that?
Yeah.
Wow. I want to see that now.
Caitlin says, what is Close Encounters about?
You have to see it.
How do you explain Close Encounters? It's an alien film, but it's not like a war invasion film. It's more about how humans communicate and interact with alien life which land on Earth. That's pretty much what it's about, and what kind of goes on behind the scenes.
It's like
How
this
do you think
mind thing, right?
Yeah,
like you see these people.
It's a very it's not like aliens as in like Star Wars or Star where things blow up.
Totally
it's not like a sci-fi film. It's set on Earth, but it's just I can't really explain it.
It's hard to explain, and I think she just should go see it.
Go watch it. It's great.
It's just about following like these people, like discovering these aliens coming to Earth, like, and that's really all I could really say. Like they kind of show like it's like a psychological thriller kind of.
And that film
right?
inspired.
It's interesting as well.
Sorry, go ahead, Marko.
No, what I was going to say, I mean, we just going back to Jaws, we were saying about the legacy of the music now is still kind of relevant to today. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, that phrase, even the title, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, is still in use today. If people have they think they've seen aliens or had a Close Encounters of the Third Kind, it's still a phrase. That movie title's become a phrase that's in use even to this day. 30, 40 years later, the legacy of it.
Well, you can arguably say that Close Encounters of a Third Kind inspired this film, which is Arrival, which is a Denis Villeneuve film, which came out I think in 2017, which I think is a phenomenal film. Yeah. Visually, it's stunning.
That movie you have to watch twice too. I think
this film is fantastic.
I've seen it twice because you watch it, then you got to watch it again to figure out what exactly is.
Yeah, but I feel like Close Encounters of a Third Kind is a film that inspires films like Arrival, which is really great to see. Like it's a really, a film like that, Close Encounters, which is an underrated film that people don't think about, still inspire directors today, which I love.
Both movies at the end, you feel it right here. Like you're like,
like
it's just a gut kind of movie. You're like, wow, you're like so riveted. I don't think they make movies like that anymore.
No,
don't.
No, you're right.
They don't.
Grace,
go ahead.
Well, Grace says Dreyfuss was so good. I was going to say that earlier. Is without Dreyfuss, what would that film have felt like? I just thought he nailed. I mean, that truck scene when he first has the first encounter.
Yeah,
I thought that was amazing.
So again, it's like Jaws. You don't see anything.
Right.
It's like you don't see the shark, you don't see the aliens.
It's the suspense, it's the storytelling, and that's
music,
what I love about
character storytelling, and that's Spielberg's strong point. Believe it or not, 1941, 1979 was his next movie. 1941, John Belushi, comedy. It's a long movie. It's set in 1941 where they bombed Pearl Harbor. Believe it or not, I love that movie. It's not his best movie. It's been criticized, and it's a comedy. And I think they said he really didn't do that great at comedies. That's why the movie's panned and everything. And looking back, maybe it's not the best movie, but at the time, I love John Belushi. I love that movie. Believe it or not, I think it's worth watching. It's a timepiece. I think the comedy, to me, was interesting. There was a lot of different parts of the movie that. Was pretty cool. I don't know. What did you guys think of 1941? Have you seen 1941, anyone?
I've not seen it.
I've not seen it either.
You've never seen it? I definitely recommend it. Believe it or not, it's like and again, it has an amazing soundtrack to John Williams. Like it just has this amazing like march driving music to it. I think you should watch it. I think it's really cool.
So it's on the list.
And there's a parody. There's a Jaws parody in there, believe it or not. So they have the original girl from Jaws comes back to open this movie too, and it's a great intro. It's kind of a comedy thing. So that she's right. It's Chrissy is back in 1941 as an homage to Jaws. So it's only a couple of years later, but it was really cool. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. So, and then here we go, 1981, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh boy!
So I want to let Dean start out because he just did a 2-hour stream with my amazing partner Road Trip Dave. That's kicked off the Live Place Festival. So
2 hours and 15 minutes, and we barely got into it. But Raiders of the Lost Ark. My favorite story, I told it then, is the fact that we saw this movie with Harrison Ford coming out. We went opening night not knowing a thing about it. Can you imagine how surprised we were? And film is amazing. Yeah.
So good. That's all. What any cool zingers you guys talked about, or any cool moments or anything? Or
thing about Raiders is talk about setting, kind of like nailing down adventure films in a way that you just never seen. I mean, every scene was just perfect. I mean, the opening and the way they finished that movie. I can't say enough about it. And here's my one little interesting tidbit in it. As you get to the end and you see Belloc in a scene where they're kind of out in the these canyons, a fly lands on him, and Spielberg thinks, let's have the fly crawl in his mouth. Right?
I saw that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Spielberg would call that production value. Yeah.
So it's Steven Spielberg directed. I'm looking at it. Produced by Frank Marshall. Written by a story by George Lucas and Philip Kaufman. Did George Lucas have anything else to do with it?
Well, didn't George Lucas and Kaufman, they both wrote. Kaufman had a big involvement in not just A New Hope, but The Empire Strikes Back, I believe.
Yeah.
Or Return of the Jedi, or one of those two.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right.
And it just shows that, with George Lucas in there as well, during his peak, because, he just came off of Star Wars, 1977, and then Empire Strikes Back came out in 1980, and then you got 1981 with Raiders. Spielberg had a bit of his hand in Star Wars, behind the scenes, helping George. Like, come on, like that's a dream team right there. That's when, I feel like from here, Raiders of the Lost Ark, this is where Jaws makes him to Hollywood, is considered a great director, a good director. Raiders makes it exceptional, and from here on forward, from 1981, Raiders of the Lost Ark, this is where his peak starts.
Yeah,
and I think from here onwards up until the early 2000s, this is where we get some of Spielberg's great work. And Raiders is just, it's one of the best films I think ever made.
I think this is where Spielberg, his name really helped, and it was he was appreciated right off the bat. Sorry, Dan, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, this film, there's only a handful of films that I'd consider a perfect film. And I would put Raiders in one of those slots. This film has everything. It has suspense, it has thriller, it has comedy, it has drama, it has romantic parts, it has everything that you need for this is the most Spielberg-y of Spielberg movies. That's what this is. This is Spielberg at his best. And you cast someone like Harrison Ford, who's just played Han Solo, as your leading role for this new franchise. It's going to be great. Like, it's going to be fantastic. And Indy is you could put on Indiana Jones on the TV and have an amazing time no matter what. It is just so much fun. There are so many iconic scenes in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Even the start of Raiders is legendary. With the sand and the golden idol and the boulder, up to when the Ark of the Covenant opens.
So good.
It's so good. It is so good.
Marko, what's your thoughts on Raiders? I don't hear him.
Quickly, Avery says, Dan, why does it have to be Dan's?
Go ahead, Marko.
We're talking about iconic movie posters as well. Raiders was another example of one of those iconic posters, just a very simple poster, of Indiana Jones, and immediately you're drawn in. It's just it's an in-your-face poster. I want to go and see this movie at the cinema. So you can see why, that alone kind of drew the crowds in to say, what's this about? Yeah. Just from that poster. But yeah, they're a great series of movies. Like Dan says, they really kind of draw you in and keep you entertained. A bit of everything in there, something for everybody. For me, I always liked him sort of escaping from all the traps and things like that in those It's just great fun films, and Harrison Ford, yeah, fantastic.
Of course, the soundtrack. You got Han Solo in there as Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford. You're right. It's just such a great thriller, and I think he kind of parodied it on the movies from the past, like all those serial movies, and it's just so good. Temple of Doom as a kid too. Woo, that was 84. Temple of Doom. That was rough. They're eating monkey brains and everything. I'm like, wow. I don't even know if I can show my kid that, that kind of stuff. Yeah, but I don't know if he's ready for it. But what?
Grace F said Spielberg's total box office is over $10.5 billion.
It's crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah, and I was looking him up too, and like his net worth is estimated to be more than $3 billion. More than $3 billion. I don't even think they know. So welcome back, Dean.
You were talking about Temple of Doom, but there's a film that came out before Temple of Doom. Yeah,
we're gonna get back to everything. We're just kind of talking about Indiana Jones in general, I think.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
And The Last Crusade, of course, 1989. It's just another. I think that was what. Dan?
I'll tell you what. Indiana Jones. Let's not talk about the fourth film just yet, because there's a lot to talk about with the fourth film. But the three films. Temple of Doom, the second one, takes such a dark turn to the originals. Really dark. It's more gory. It's more religious. There's so much more depth in there that takes Indy to a much darker place, and I really like that because it makes Last Crusade a little bit more lighter, and it feels like the Last Crusade is his last crusade, and the Temple of Doom was more sort of in the middle of his dark sort of adventures leading to the end, where the Last Crusade, he goes on his last crusade, though it won't be his last crusade, but what can you do? These films are classics.
That's a good point.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you get the fourth film,
and then the fifth film, if they ever make it. So
yeah,
do we have to talk?
Still on tap.
Have you got an hour to talk about the fourth? Actually, no, ladies and gentlemen, that is for tomorrow on.
It's on my list.
That's how we know.
Too funny.
Oh gosh.
All right, so let's go back. I'm sorry. So we got Raiders of the Lost Ark 81. I think everyone will say possibly his all-time greatest movie, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I did watch it on Saturday with my kids. We finally watched it. My wife's never seen it in her entire life. She finally watched it. She's never seen it. It's a long story, but she saw it Saturday. My kids saw it. My son John gave it a 9. He loved it. He really loved it. It was really cool. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Classic VHS flip cover of E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
You believe it or not, I saw it in the theater. I bought it on VHS. I think I watched it on VHS, and I think I've only seen it maybe one other time. So this might be only my fourth time seeing it since 1982. And I'll tell you what, it was good. I'll tell you what, some of the effects were not too good. So like when they're flying towards the end, it was pretty bad.
This is the 80s,
exactly. I know. I'll give him a pass on that. But go ahead. Let's start with Marko. What do you think about E.T.?
Again, it's another iconic. We talked about film posters. Another iconic poster, isn't it? The moon and the bicycle going across it. And it's a great movie because in those days, a lot of sort of movies with aliens in were scary. Scary aliens, bad aliens. Whereas E.T. is kind of this lovable character that you can kind of almost relate to, which I think in those kind of sci-fi movies at the time was a bit unusual, a bit of kind of a new thing. So I think that's why audiences kind of really grew to love E.T. And it's a great movie. What did your wife think of it then, Rob? How have you seen it for the first time?
She thought it was good. It's just when she was a kid, her brother got to see it and she didn't get to see it. So it was just a weird story. And we've been talking about it for years, for her to see it. I thought she thought it was good. She definitely had a tear towards the end, but she liked it. But my son John, the 10-year-old, loved it. I was surprised. He really loved it. Like I knew he was gonna like it, but he loved it. Though he was really into it. He got emotional, which was really cool. So, Dean, what do you think of E.T.?
I thought so when I saw it, I loved it, and what Spielberg always does, which you said earlier, Rob, is he builds the story. You don't see everything right away. You're walking through something and you're trying to figure out what's going on. I went back and watched it recently, excuse me, and it wasn't a timeless movie for me. In other words, like I watched it again and I thought, okay, it was good, but I don't think I'd watch it a lot. Whereas like Raiders, I can go back and watch again and again.
Right,
so
right.
Great film, great in its day. I think it will be timeless. Maybe not for me, but
no, that's cool. Yeah, that's what I said. Like I have a problem with a lot of older movies because I don't know. I'm so conditioned about modern movies and like amazing CGI, and I'm all into. I'll be honest, I'm just into that. I love it, and I just I love the classics, but you look back, and I just don't think a lot of movies stand the test of time. I think
See,
E.T.
films,
did pretty good.
Films like the Indiana Jones ones, of course, they're sort of set almost in a time in the past, so they age quite well because it's still
a great
in the past.
point. Great point.
Whereas E.T. was kind of set in the modern day. Right. Of course, modern day times move on, and I agree with Dean. Has it aged very well? Not as much as as well as the Indiana Jones ones.
Great point. I love that. And M&M's made the biggest mistake of their lives by not participating. I fell in love with Reese's Pieces when I saw E.T. in the theater, because they didn't want to be the sponsor, and Reese's Pieces didn't put up Reese's Pieces on the map, which is amazing. So
I'll say
too funny. Dan, E.T.
You know what?
He's a creepy little guy.
I agree with Dean. Like this film, E.T. It's a fantastic film. It's one of those feel good films. It makes you feel sort of good at the end of the film, and I feel like it's one of those films you can watch now and again, every couple of years. Watch it, feel happy, feel good, and wait another couple of years to go and see it again. Whereas something like Indiana Jones, I could watch Indiana Jones all day, every day. I still think E.T. is a fantastic film. I think people should definitely go and check it out if you haven't seen it before. And again, this is part of Spielberg's peak. I mean, E.T., the bicycle scene alone, if you want to talk about greatest film moments, not just for Spielberg of all time, most iconic film moments, that bicycle scene with E.T. is in there. Like, I don't care who you are, that scene is in there. When they lift off the ground and E.T. brings all those bicycles in the middle of the air and cross over the moon, that is the film. That is E.T. I mean, it's so well loved. We've got a ride that will never, ever be taken away from us because Spielberg has asked Universal never to get rid of the E.T. attraction. It just shows how much Spielberg loves this movie. I love the ride, even though it's not anything to do with the film.
Right.
Because you get to go to E.T.'s home planet, whatever, which is very bizarre. But look, it's a fun, good film.
Yeah.
It's a feel-good film.
I hear you.
Go watch it.
It's good. We got to fly through some of these movies. So then we get, he kind of, Temple of Doom. He started getting a little serious. Color Purple, Empire of the Sun.
Poltergeist. We've missed out Poltergeist.
Poltergeist is in there, produced. Like, there's just a lot of movies. I got to look at the producer.
Again, that's another one that he wrote, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
He wrote it.
He wrote it. And again, that's one of those kind of films that sets a precedence, and lots of other films, Paranormal Activity, all those kind of things can all trace their origins back to Poltergeist. That's kind of the film that started that whole genre.
This is his first real horror film.
Yeah.
Jaws was a horror film, but Poltergeist
is supernatural. It's his first supernatural
level horror.
Yeah.
And it's become one of those cult classic horror films. It really has.
Scared the bejesus out of me as a kid, and it really bothered me. Still bothers me. I've never seen Poltergeist again since I was a kid. It was tough. But yeah, he contributed Twilight Zone the movie. He did one of the segments, Kick the Can, which was really cool. I don't know if you guys ever saw that. Definitely recommend seeing that. And then with Color Purple, it's in Dean's thumbnail. Color Purple. Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about Color Purple at all, Dean?
I've never seen it.
It's in the thumbnail. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never seen it either.
I've not seen it either. So.
I have not seen a lot of his more serious movies, and I'm kind of embarrassed about it. And I always wanted to go back and watch all these. So I will. I take that back. I think I have seen Color Purple in 1985, like around that era. I haven't seen it since, So Goonies, he was executive producer on. Of course, I'm wearing my Goonies shirt. As a kid, I love that movie. It doesn't stand the test of time, but I don't think as much. You guys are Goonies fans at all, or?
See, for me, I don't associate Goonies with Spielberg.
Right.
I don't. It's a what film? It's what's his name who directed it? It was
Richard Donner.
Richard Donner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he did produce
Not to be
it.
confused with Richard and Donner.
R. Johns.
That's good. Nice, Marko.
Richard Donner. There you go.
Every time I watch Superman from 1970, whatever it is, I'm gonna think, oh, Richard and Donner.
I do like Richard Donner. I think he was really good with kids. And I'll tell you what, but you like you're saying though, Dan, you said it earlier, like you watched that movie, you could tell Spielberg had his hand in that.
Definitely did,
the characters and the kids and everything. I like it. We could talk about it another time. We'll take Dan out here in a sec. Okay.
Sorry, I had to move my camera.
Movie around. All right, that's cool. Empire of the Sun, I've never seen. I don't know if you guys seen that.
It's a good one.
Never seen it.
It's Jonathan Chong liked it. It's an epic kind of film. It's meant to be more epic. It's a war film, I think.
You want to discuss it at all? I've maybe seen it as a kid again, so I don't think I've seen it in a long time.
If I remember right, gosh, maybe Jonathan knows. It's kind of from the viewpoint of a child
I do remember.
in war, and it's kind of riveting that way. But I don't remember a ton about it, to be honest. It was good. I know it was good.
Always was a good movie too. It was very emotional. Richard Dreyfuss is in that movie too. It's been a while since I've seen that too. So, anyone else wanted to contribute to that? Hook in '91. It's in your picture there, Dean. I don't know if it's just in there.
This film.
I just saw a video on the why Hook wasn't successful actually. So it was interesting.
Can we just hold on? This was the film that was pretty much my childhood, apart from Star Wars.
Okay.
Like Hook, just literally every time I was able to watch Hook, I would watch it. Like. I'm a huge Peter Pan fan. Peter Pan the original is my favorite film of all time.
Yeah. And
watching Hook, it just made me love the character even more. You got Robin frickin' Williams, one of the greatest actors ever in the film, and you've got so many incredible actors in there. You have Julia Roberts, you have
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman.
It's incredible.
Bob Hoskins is one of them.
Bob Hoskins is in there.
Really good too.
This film, look, it's not one of Spielberg's best, but it's a true fan favorite. I feel like it's just, it just brings back so many memories every time I watch that film. Come on, this film is phenomenal. Maggie Smith as Grandma Wendy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I tell you what, if you want to talk about greatest makeup you've seen on an actress, there it is, because she's not that old at that at that time.
Right.
She's not. And
the makeup was great in that film. Even Dustin Hoffman.
Fantastic. It was absolutely brilliant, and the soundtrack again by John Williams, phenomenal. Like Hook, take my money.
The makeup, just picking up on that point, I mean, the makeup was amazing. I mean, Dustin Hoffman, if you didn't know that was Dustin Hoffman, you wouldn't immediately say, oh, that's Dustin Hoffman.
No.
It just looked completely unrecognizable.
Yeah.
Great film. Great film.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I got to see it again. I'm excited. Then we get 1993. I think Dan said, his biggest year.
This is the best year of all time.
Yeah. Come on, Jurassic Park, Schindler's List. Come on.
In 1 year?
Yeah, in one year. So.
Come on.
He's only won 3 Oscars. He won for Best Directors for Schindler's List, and Schindler's List won for Best Picture as well. And then he won for A Saving Private Ryan, which comes later too. So that's the 3 Oscars he won. So,
boy,
I feel like every time Spielberg watches like the box office each year, and you see like Avengers win, like, you know, Avengers make $1 billion or whatever. I bet Spielberg is like, right, hold my beer. Go back to 1993. I did Schindler's List and Jurassic Park. Like, can you describe these films as just phenomenal?
Yeah.
In 1 year. 1 year he did both those films.
Crazy. A summer movie, and then I think it was Christmas movie for the Schindler's List, right? For the Oscars. That's
Jurassic
another
Park
stream
was the
right there.
Jurassic Park, I think, was the first movie I saw where I thought, I think Spielberg's kind of take on movies has shifted a little bit more towards the theme parks and how we can translate things from a movie into a ride in a theme park.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park kind of did that for me with the jeeps that kind of went through on the tracks and things. As soon as I saw that, I was just like, that's a theme park ride in the making.
I was so pumped
I think
for that
he's starting
movie.
to sort of think how he can.
Yeah, totally. I was so pumped for that movie. I read the book before the movie, and I was just so like into it. Like, I'll never forget. I had the shirt, the posters, another iconic poster with the, you know, the T-Rex, and it's just so good. Just that's another whole stream. We could spawn off 50 streams from this. Dean, what do you think? Jurassic Park.
Oh, I loved
Sorry,
it. When I think of Jurassic Park, I think of so many moments that were so well done, like when the helicopter is first approaching the island, just the music there, which is John Williams, right? I'm assuming. Yeah. And the T-Rex, yeah. I mean, and did I get this right that they actually built kind of a scale model T-Rex for some of that? Is that true?
Yeah, there were some practical dinosaurs.
Yeah,
I was literally watching. I was watching Jim stream, and they had the raptor. You see the guy's hand in there shaking the raptor when he was coming through the door. So they did have some practical stuff. Yeah, they did. Sorry, Dan. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just going to make a comment that, you know, Jurassic Park is one of the greatest sorts of films I think ever, and then it's just from that film, the franchise has been completely ruined. I'm sorry,
but also that film there was big advancements in CGI for that film as well.
It
was one of the first films that kind of did CGI well to the point you couldn't tell that it was actually. I mean, you knew it wasn't really
the technology.
Really, but the technology had so much that it,
100%.
So good. Even going back to like Jaws, like the practical effects on the shark of Jaws is incredible. Like you watch and it's just incredible. But I was saying, I think Spielberg has such incredible ideas that you take those ideas, you look at Indiana Jones, you look at Jurassic Park, and you take those concepts and bring them out later, they just get ruined. I'm sorry. Jurassic Park, the original, is the only phenomenal Jurassic Park film. I feel that all the other Jurassic Park films that have come out after Jurassic Park have been a mere shadow of the original. And I don't watch. I have the box set of Jurassic Park. I have Jurassic Park, the second, the third. Here comes the Dan rant. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, aka Jurassic Lost World Part 2, or copy and paste, whatever you call it. These films, for me, are an insult to the first Jurassic Park.
Oh, here he goes. Are they going to be on the list? It is on the I can't ruin it.
I'm going to wait till tomorrow, but I'm sorry. If you like the newer Jurassic World films, fair enough, but I think they're absolute garbage. They are a money-grabbing machine of films that they just want to do. They just want to make money. They don't give any sort of care about the original Jurassic Park, because the original Jurassic Park is a classic. It is a phenomenal film.
How much involvement was Spielberg with the other Jurassic Park ones? Was he involved?
He did The Lost World, which is the second one. I think the third film he didn't do. And then he's been producer for... He was producer for Jurassic Park 3.
Okay.
But I don't know about the new Jurassic World. It wasn't him directing. And they shouldn't have let him direct it. And no one should have directed it because it should never be made. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He was executive producer on Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, that's right.
He didn't direct it.
Yeah. It was terrible.
We could be here for 5 hours, so I'm going to run through these. Unfortunately, and we really shouldn't skip over them as much. Saving Private Ryan, incredible movie.
Yeah.
AI, it was actually a pretty good movie. Not one of his biggest.
I think for it.
Minority Report again with technology and stuff.
Great film.
Another cool thing.
Great
Definitely
film.
a great film. Catch Me If You Can was amazing. I love Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
Terminal wasn't bad. It was panned and everything.
I liked it.
I liked it. It was really cool. Yeah. Tom Hanks in it. War of the Worlds. Yeah,
not bad.
Not the greatest. But
It's just going into the, his peak is coming to sort of a bit slower now. Coming to the 2000s. I feel like from the Terminal, Catch Me If You Can, War of the Worlds, it starts to sort of, we've hit his peak. And just very, very quickly about Schindler's List. Because we didn't.
We kind of skipped over. Sorry.
Very quickly, Schindler's List, I feel like is a film that everybody needs to see once and only once.
I agree.
Yeah.
It is breathtaking. It's
important.
It's important. And there's no really any other words to describe it.
Yeah.
It is.
I didn't want to skip over it. I'm sorry.
All I'm going to say is just see it one time. Just see it one time. That's it. Liam Neeson.
My father saw it at the cinema, and he said it was so strange because normally at the end of a film in the cinema, when the credits start rolling, everybody just gets up, gets the coats, walks out. When Schindler's List finished, silence. Nobody stood up. Everybody was just
people were crying.
Sat there, and he said it was. Yeah, he said people were crying, and he said it was so surreal. He's never seen that before. In a film.
It's not for me. I don't think it's a film. I think it's more of an experience.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. I'm sorry, Dan. You're right. Thank you so much for going back with that.
Yeah.
Of course, that was huge.
It's just an important
very
film.
Historical.
It's an important film.
Like Munich too, I think is another historic film and everything. There's Crystal Skull 2008. We're going to skip that. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Skip it tomorrow.
Join the stream tomorrow, 7:00. I'm going to be on Disney Fiasco with Dan towards the end of the Live Plays movie marathon. Definitely check us out tomorrow, 7:00. I'll be over at Dan's channel. But
that film,
there it is. Believe it or not, I really like Adventures of Tintin. He did that movie. He was really big on that. I thought it was a really good movie. I really liked it. And then, I'll be honest with you, I'm drawing a blank on Warhorse. Why am I drawing a blank on
Warhorse.
I know you like that one, Dean, right?
It was just okay. It's a little, it's a war-heavy movie, but it's an interesting story.
The show is better. If you see it on Broadway or in a show, go see it on the show on Broadway. It's fantastic.
And I think these here comes Lincoln. He tried to do it. It wasn't really well received too well. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I thought it was all right too. Yeah, I agree with Dean.
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
Daniel Day-Lewis, right? I mean, that guy's he's my favorite actor. In fact,
he's
awesome.
He's fantastic.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, I thought it was a good film.
Yeah, I hate to jump over all these and everything, but if you guys want to add anything, just let me know. Bridge of Spies.
I think that was
seen it.
That was good. I enjoyed that.
The BFG, he was really big into that. That really didn't do that great for Disney. The big something giant. What is it? Big freaking giant. Friendly giant. Yeah, that's right. I thought it was pretty good. It was the storyline wasn't great, but I don't know. Did you guys see that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we don't really have to talk about it.
The trailer was cool.
The trailer looked amazing.
Trailer was cool because it was actually like a girl in the orphanage.
Yeah,
and you just see this massive hand come through the window. And that was really intriguing. And then I saw the film. I was just like...
where's the trailer? I hate that.
The film, I feel, was just like the same thing you really get in all these other films where, we need to save our land. So we need to be the big friendly giant, but also the big strong giant. And I'm just like, give me a break.
Yeah. I think this is where Spielberg got more serious too. The Post.
Good film.
I haven't seen it, unfortunately. So
I haven't either.
Ready Player One of my current favorite movies. I really love it. If you guys haven't seen it, really cool.
That
a virtual reality.
I would say if you are into fandoms, geekdoms, if you love
retro
things, that is a geek fest of a film.
Yeah.
For me, the writing is. It's a fine film, but you're there for the references.
Yeah.
I mean, when you've got the DeLorean from Back to the Future, King Kong, the dinosaur from Jurassic Park and The Shining all in one film, I'm there.
You know, it's funny. I just finished reading the book. I was telling Dan, and the book is phenomenal. It's. I was listening to the audiobook, 15 hours. It's an investment, but I'll tell you what, it's very loosely based on the book because the book. I don't think they could do a lot of this stuff because of rights and all that kind of stuff. But I love the book. I highly recommend the book.
The amount of content they get.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Batman climbing on the side of a mountain. Like, come on, who doesn't want to see that?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And then it has 2021 West Side Story. I guess he's working on it. I didn't even know he was working on
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I guess it says directed by Steven Spielberg, only in theaters. Well, hopefully. Well, I don't think it's come to theaters. December 18th, 2020. It says that, and now it says 2021, so it's probably delayed. And then what did I miss? The executive producers produced Super 8. Dean just recommended it to me. It's the beginning was phenomenal with J.J. Abrams.
Yeah,
he was a producer on that. Really good.
He's produced a lot of not great films too. Like he produced some of the Transformers films.
Yeah, that's all in there too.
Super 8, the one thing I'll say about that is I think it's Spielberg, and I know he just was involved with producing it, but I think it tells some feelings that Spielberg, it mirrored his younger life, I think, or maybe this the way he pictures himself, the young director. And if you haven't seen Super 8, the beginning is so amazing.
So good. You're right.
Yeah. It's captures a moment in these kids making a movie that is done so well. I just get goosebumps thinking about it. The end of the movie, but it's a great movie.
There's a recommendation.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is really why I love Spielberg. Growing up as a kid, I'm a teenager, early 80s. This is my back to back movies I love. Gremlins. He's executive producer. Back to the Future, one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah.
I love the movie, believe it or not, Young Sherlock Holmes. That's when I really fell in love with Spielberg, believe it or not. Like Back to the Future, Young Sherlock. Same year, 85 is so good. I highly recommend that movie. It's really, it's not the best movie ever, but it's really good. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Then he worked on American Tail, The Money Pit, Batteries Not Included, Inner Space, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, The Land Before Time, Back to the Future 2, all this stuff in here. Arachnophobia, I said it wrong. The movie about spiders, that was pretty cool. Then you got, the sequels to Back to the Future, Gremlins 2, Joe versus the Volcano, probably one of his worst movies. Tom Hanks is in it, Meg Ryan. It's not the greatest movie. Dan's shaking his head. So, and then you ask, why? Like the Flintstones live action movie. It's like, what is that?
Well, he changed his name, didn't he? Because he wasn't Steven Spielberg in that. It was
Spielrock. Yeah.
So I don't know if he was embarrassed about it. He didn't want people to know it's really him.
Yeah, it's him. Though.
If there was one part of his name he needed to change, it was Spielberg.
You get, like Dan said, this error too is like he's slapping his name on it. Casper, Twister, I thought was really good, and then the Men in Black series. I actually have a warm spot in my heart for that. There's your movie, Dan. Jurassic Park 3, the other Men in Black ones, and like you were saying, like the Transformer movies. There was a lot of stuff. The Cowboys and Aliens was not one of his best movies. He produced it. John Favreau directed it before he was
it's a shame, like he does all this work for, he directs incredible films, but then he's produced some rubbish stuff.
Bad ones.
Sorry.
I can't believe I didn't even know this. He Cats?
Oh my god.
He's part of Cats? I did not know that.
Right, add it to the list tomorrow.
Wow. Oh yeah, that's another one for the list. But Cats is on his list. Did you guys know that?
I did.
The show tomorrow is films strictly for that they're so bad they're hilarious. That film is just bad. That's not even hilarious. That film.
Yeah. And then his cameos. The Amity Point worker, the voice in Jaws. He is in Blues Brothers. He is in Temple of Doom. I remember that. He's at the convention at Gremlins. He's definitely not a Hitchcock. He's only been a couple of them.
He's an alien, I think, isn't he? In Men in Black as well.
Yeah, that's what it says. Yep. Very cool. And there's a lot of stuff. We could go on for hours, so it was really cool though. But what do you guys think? Last words about? Do we cover everything? I think we did. Marko, we cover everything.
Favorite Spielberg films?
Yeah. Well, favorite Spielberg films. that's a difficult one because I don't know if I can narrow it down to one. There's so many that
Top
Jaws,
three.
Back to the
Top
Future,
three.
Indiana Jones.
I'm gonna say I'll go first. Raiders, Jaws, and probably Back to the Future. Like I just say those right off the top of my head. So it's tough to pick because there's a lot of them I love in there. So and probably top 5: Jurassic Park and I don't know. I don't even know where I'll put it. Go ahead, Dan. What do you think off the top of your head?
Going with Raiders, Hook as one of my personal favorites, even though it's not his best, and Jaws and Close Encounters. Yeah.
Marko, go ahead. Look up top 5. Go ahead. Oh wait, hold on a sec. I forgot.
Muted on that one.
You can't even use that one.
So it's difficult to give a top 5 because there are so many good ones. But yeah, like Dan says, Hook, Jurassic Park, Jaws, the Back to the Future movies, Indiana Jones. They're all great. But there's also, I mean, there's so much more we can talk about around the time. But all the movies that he was supposed to be involved in, but because of
go ahead. Wait, hold on a sec. Let me get rid of these here. Hold on a sec. And put you in. Okay, go ahead. That's an interesting topic too.
Yeah, there's a whole. I mean, I didn't realize when I was doing research for this because I do research before I come on the stream. I was researching. He wanted to direct 2 James Bond movies, and he was turned down. And I never knew that. I learned that today. So, the first one was The Spy Who Loved Me. He actually asked the producers, "Can I direct this?" And they said no. And then after Close Encounters did so well, then he asked if he could direct Moonraker. And again, they said no, which is a shame because I think Moonraker with his touch would have been a much better film.
Wait, Rob, you liked Moonraker?
I did as a kid. Yeah, I did. As a kid. I probably wouldn't like it now.
What shouldn't have done is gone in space. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I liked it as a kid.
Absolutely. But I think if it had gone, it went into space. If it had gone into space with Steven Spielberg, it would have been a different movie. So there's just, it's a whole other stream. We won't go into details of that, but there's so many other projects that Spielberg was asked to be involved in or wanted to be involved in, and either was rejected or he had another project on. He had to postpone. It's incredible the amount of films.
It's a busy man, as we found out. So
very busy man, yeah.
And then Dean, what are you thinking?
Okay, I got something prepared for this. All right,
love this.
Here we go. Number 3, Raiders.
Dun,
Number
dun,
2,
dun.
Close Encounters.
Yes.
And number 1.
Dean is the shark.
Look
out, Dean! There's a shark on your ear.
Those are my 3 favorite, but I will honorable mentions are going to be. Oh, why did I just blank out there? Lincoln, because I do love those kind of movies. Super 8 is the one that isn't one of his absolute best, but I think it is unique and it tells a little bit about Spielberg. And so I highly recommend Super 8 and many that you guys mentioned. So those are mine.
So much fun. That's awesome. Welcome to the stream, Kyle. We're just kind of wrapping it up now, so definitely rewind. This was a great one, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Dean, I just want to thank. And it was so funny because on the 50s and 60s stream, Carlos got all deep and everything. So I'm gonna get deep. So Dean, thank you so much for everything you do. So much fun. Thank you for doing all the work and everything. I'll text. Or I'll message Dean and everything. He'll put my entry up there anytime. I appreciate you, Dean. You're awesome friend, awesome partner channel. Thank you so much for doing the Live Place movie marathon this week. So much fun. And I can't wait to a food one is really cool. This guy right here would love that theme.
That's Dan's gonna run the thing.
Dan's gonna run it. I love it. You love it. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. So thank you so much for coming on. Dean, before we get out of here, tell us what else is going on in the Live Place besides the movie marathon, or you can even mention the movie marathon too before we get out of here.
First thing I want to say is Rob has been my friend for about 3 years. The guy is such a great promoter of this community, and I just say he is the man with that silky smooth DJ voice. We love watching him. Thank you, Rob. You've helped me many ways Dean. On and off the air, and I appreciate it. The Live Place, the movie marathon goes through Sunday, and then in October I'll be starting to launch sort of an RV live streamer campaign. So you're going to see hopefully more RV live streamers at the live place. That's what the next category.
It's awesome. Very cool. And then Rob Fuzz, can you tell us about the Great Marko's channel? Rob Fuzz. Wait, hold on a sec. Here he is.
So, guys, the Great Marko is on YouTube. There's the address at the bottom. Go check him out. I think he's about 3 subscribers away from 300. So, if you want something to do, click that link. You can't click it because it's on the screen, but go to that link. I'm sure it's in the description, and go subscribe. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody. I'm Rob Fuzz. How are we all doing? Yeah.
It's so hard to switch all those people. Thank you, Marko. And of course, DizneyDan. I can't wait to be on your stream tomorrow. I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. Let's talk about that. Talk about DizneyDan, your channel.
You know your new YouTube intro for your channel. I think Marko should do it.
I think you should. Marko, are you game? Would you do that? I don't even have it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, cool. He's into it. So
yeah. I want to give a big thank you
awesome.
to Dean. Dean has been the heart of this community.
Yes.
It's been an honor being part of the live place for the length that I have been, and being able to be part of something that I really enjoy doing, and that's not just live streaming, but talk about films, talk about Disney. So tomorrow, to celebrate the movie marathon, Disney Fiasco special. It'll be the first Disney Fiasco episode not to talk about Disney. We are doing top 10 films that are so bad that they are hilarious. Now, these films are not just bad. These are films so bad they're hilarious. We're going to be talking about films like Jaws 4, The Room, Batman and Robin, Indiana Jones 4, Home on the Range. There's going to be so many great films that are so bad. Go watch The Fanatic. John Travolta came out 2 years ago. It is the most bizarre film, and it's so funny. Go watch it. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. Disney Fiasco episode 110, 7 p.m. Eastern.
I can't believe 110.
I know,
and how many subs away from 2,000 are you?
29 subs away from 2,000.
Please, guys, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to this guy and this guy, and of course the Great Marko. All the links are right below there. I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm excited.
It's going to be Sunday, fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Rob, you'll be joining me for that.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's going to be a fun show tomorrow. And then Disney Fiasco, tomorrow. And the Disney Movie Review Sunday, we'll be reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which is going to be fun. We'll be saying a lot of, we're Mary Poppins, y'all. That's what we'll be doing the whole stream. So that's going to be fun. I've got some other videos planned. We've got the Bob Iger book review coming up soon. This has been so much fun. And thank you to Dean for this amazing week. And thank you for Rob Fuzz. Go check out this amazing guy for allowing me on the show once again.
Can't wait to be on tomorrow.
Yeah, for an amazing. This was so much fun. I could talk about movies all day.
So good. Yeah. And I just want to do a couple more plugs here, guys. Check out robfuzz.com. I have been updating it, so definitely check out my website. You find the links to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. At robfuzz is my my tag. Rob Fuzz, this channel. Please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. I go live every Friday, 4 o'clock, with these great guys, a lot of my friends and everything. Find me on The Live Place. It is awesome. TheLivePlace.com. It is the TV guide of YouTube. Thank you so much again, Dean. You are awesome. And, of course, my amazing sponsors, the Philly Crew. They go live every Thursday at 9 o'clock. They just talked about their entry was horror movies. A lot of fun. And D&G Explorers, they do Disney, they do cruising. They're my other sponsor. They are awesome. Go check those guys out. I love those guys. And then here we go. My partners, thank you guys so much. My partners, my members of my channel, thank you for being my members. I appreciate you guys so much. And all my partner channels are below as well. Shout out to Adam. Shout out to Road Trip Dave, who was here earlier. Thank you so much. The Viapre Project, who is in Disney. They were streaming from Disney Studios before. Go check those guys out. Steve's World, he was here too. Good to see Steve. Thank you so much.
Just very quickly, big shout out to Adam.
Big shout out to Adam.
I just want to keep everybody's thoughts and prayers for Adam. He's going through a lot at the moment, and we all love him and we miss him. And if you're watching this, brother, we hope you're doing all right. And, big shout out to you, Adam from Adam's Land.
Definitely, Adam. We love you. And definitely check out Adam's Land and his daughter, Ebony, their channels. They're all listed below. All my member channels are below there, too. And I think that's it. I'm out of wind. It's time for Chinese food. It is Friday, if you guys know me. So,
sorry, food.
And thank you so much to my other cameras that were here too. That was awesome, Marko. So fun. It was so much fun. He just did that, and that's why Marko is awesome. And you're always welcome back on, you guys, all the time. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Dean, for doing the Live Place movie marathon.
That was fun.
We never did the click in a while. Bye, everyone. The click and salute. All right, guys. Enjoy. Go check out the liveplace.com. And I know Caitlin's going live tonight. Resort TV 1 is live again, as always, on Fridays. Go check those guys out. Check out my partner channels. We are out of here, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you next Friday for my stream is food with this guy down here. I'm gonna have Dan pick the ultimate I'm gonna say 8-course meal from Disney World. Start thinking about it, Dan. We'll be back next Friday, 4:00, and I'm gonna be dropping a retro video. Back to the Future. Speaking of Spielberg, The Ride will be dropping this week as well. I just put it live for my members today, and I'm gonna be doing Back to the Future, The Ride retro video this week. So check it out. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye, guys. Thanks, Dean. Thanks, Marko.
Bye.
Thanks, Dan. I'll see you tomorrow, 7:00 on Dan's channel.
Yeah.
Check it out. Marko's out here. Bye, guys. Thanks.